All right, and it looks like we're live. Hey, everybody, welcome to another Ragnarok Patreon actual play. I'm Ryan, and I'm going to be moderating this session, but I'm not the GM. That honor goes to Patreon Michael H or Feb. So I'm going to turn that over to Mike, and he'll tell us what in the hell we're doing.
All right. I'm Mike, and today we'll be playing Mothership. Specifically, we'll be playing out of the Dead Planet module. Mothership is a sci-fi horror game that is pay what you want on Drive-Thru RPG, and the module is very good. We're going to be playing the first part of it called the Alexis. What is everybody playing?
Ryan? I'm Steve.
Steve.
And I'll be playing former Sergeant F. Tolles. He is a Marine. He has a decent combat and decent strength. He has firearms training, military training, chemistry training, and he has an SMG, which apparently will not do him much good.
I'm John. I'll be playing Archibald Leovold. He is a scientist, and he's probably gonna die. He's yeah.
And I'm Ryan. I'm going to be playing Petty Officer Third Class Flo Valdez Dominguez. Flo is she has a bit of experience as a combat medic, but she's more of a generalist in terms of her technical skills. She's got a lot of like low-level repair abilities, and I kind of picture her as being like a grease monkey when the food replicators break. She's the one who fixes them. And she also does light engineering duty in the bowels of the ship, wherever quarters are tight and you need somebody who's gonna not afraid to get dirty and repair whatever's broken.
Right on. That sounds like what a Teamster does. All right, you guys are independent contractors in the far future. Naturally, things have devolved to a point of some sort of like corporate feudalism or something like that. You guys do have a ship. It's a large freighter, a lot of storage space, a lot of empty space, and it sort of tugs along. I was just kind of curious what it was called.
Oh boy.
I know, it's the most important part, right?
Is it just we're independent contractors? It's just the three of us?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
I don't think any of you have any piloting, right?
No.
The computer does that. It's fine. This isn't a starfighter.
Let's see. Random ship name generator. This is apparently a fantasy ship name, random ship name generator.
That's perfect. This ship, you guys bought this ship used, by the way.
The Narcissus.
The Narcissus. I love it. It's hideous, by the way.
Even better.
The Narcissus is a big, ugly freighter that's been converted for salvage duty. You guys are far out on the rim. You're far enough away from the shipping lanes that piracy actually isn't a concern, but the law isn't really out here either. You guys are looking for jobs, and I'm assuming somebody receives a phone call about a hot tip. Who gets that call?
Well, I don't know. Who's in command on this ship?
I don't know.
Kind of think the Teamster is.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Sure. I'll take the call.
All right. So, what is it? Flo, you get a call on your space phone or whatever, and it's your old buddy Randy. Randy is a true scumbag, and he used to date your sister, and you hate him, but he does come up with good jobs occasionally.
All right. So the way I picture this playing out, we see like a shot of the empty bridge, and there's just like an indicator light on the console and an annoying like beeping sound happening. And you hear, just that echoing sound through the bridge. You hear like a banging and someone like swearing under their breath, and then a dirty, short redheaded woman like pokes her head out from under the console, and just presses the button, like rubbing the spot on her head that she just wanged. She looks at the video screen and she goes, "What the fuck do you want, Randy?"
Hey, how's your sister been?
My sister's fine. It's just. Why did you call, Randy?
I got a hot tip for you.
That's great. You know us. We're always looking for the next job.
Well, this is a good one, but I'm going to want 15% of the recovery if it pays out.
How is that? Is that like standard out of character?
Yeah, shit. It's like 15% of whatever you guys want.
Whatever the finder's fee.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Listen, would you be willing to go down to 10% if I gave you my sister's private contact code?
You know I would. That's why I'm calling. Yeah, his eyes light up. He's sort of an ugly man. He used to not be so hideous, but he's let himself go over the years. His hair's been letting him down. He can't afford cyber hair transplants. Like I think we can make that work. I'm gonna send you coordinates, hyperspace coordinates, to a star near you. You're actually one of the closest ships in the system to it. The science ship went in there and it hasn't come back out yet. Someone needs to go check that out and hopefully get that science ship.
All right. Well, we can probably handle the salvage. I know a little bit of first aid if we have any survivors.
Yeah, you're definitely the woman for the job. And he sends you some stuff. There's like a little online signature type thing. You have to guarantee him 15%.
All right. I'll you know what, I'll cross out the 15 and I'll put in the 10% upon receipt of the agreed upon commodity.
Okay.
And then all right, so before we settle up, we do the job. I will send him my sister's comm code.
Nice.
Because I know she'll forgive me, and she
did last time, right?
She can change it easily enough. And I'll put my digital, Jane Hancock on the signature on the contract and send it back.
All right. Do that, and you guys get ready for hyperspace. The way hyperspace works is typically you would have an android to help you with hyperspace, but I mean, androids aren't free, so you're gonna have to deal with the ship's computer.
All right.
In hyperspace, it's generally recommended that you sleep in sort of like a hyperbolic chamber. It's not that you'll just automatically die or mutate. This isn't Warhammer 40K, but weird stuff happens in hyperspace, and
okay.
It's just generally assumed that you go to sleep for it.
All right. So I guess before we prep for hyperspace, I'll call Baldy and formerly Sergeant Talls over to whatever serves us for a meeting area. And I'll just go over the details with them.
You've got like a crew mess hall looks like the one from the Nostromo, without the mess.
So I guess I'll make some rehydrated protein or whatever.
Yeah, right.
Randy's got a job for us.
Oh yeah, what is it?
Science vessel stranded in dangerous sector of space. Hasn't come back or made contact with anyone. Possible salvage up, possible survivor rescue. Seems pretty standard.
What happened to the ship?
He didn't really get into that, but we got to keep this bucket flying.
Are we dealing with breaches? What are we?
I'm gonna look over the contract and see, like, do we have like the name of the ship? He gave us coordinates.
Yes, you have the name of the ship is the Alexis.
Okay.
It's a science vessel, which are not cheap vessels. It was crewed by a collection of scientists and teamsters, and without checking, I believe 3 androids. It went there on some sort of hunch. You're not sure. It was a university actually that sent it out there, and they said it was an archaeological dig.
Yeah, so I'll reiterate that to everybody. It looks like some kind of science vessel on an archaeological dig. I'll pass the details over to everybody.
So are these coordinates in the middle of space?
No, it is a star. You are on the rim. It's a little bit outside of the rim. It is a red dwarf, so it's an old star, and it has no. There's no details on it. Nobody's explored it.
It looks like it's unsurveyed.
And the ship where the coordinates are, it's not like, is it like in the? Well, I guess we don't know. Okay, we'll figure it out.
Is there anything we can do to do we have access to like a space internet of some kind where we can look up details about this sector? Like,
yeah, sure. You're on the rim, so it's kind of like AOL dial-up, but you can look some stuff up.
All right. So I guess that would be intellect and computers.
Well, what are you trying to do?
I guess just I know the area is unsurveyed, but like I'll like cast a wider net, see if do ships go missing in that area? Have there been any other reports or information?
Out here on the rim, ships go missing a lot, but sometimes people come out here with the express purpose of going missing. Like if you're the Space Mormons or something, and you just want to go off and do your own thing, you head to the rim and you bounce. You don't tell anyone where you're going.
Right. It's a good place to disappear.
Exactly. So yes, there are missing ships out here, but that's not. I mean, you guys might be in a way a missing ship. You have creditors. You owe on the ship.
Which is one of the reasons I was so eager to take this job.
Yeah, if this was a campaign, you guys would have literally like $1 million debt that you owned on the ship, and we'd be keeping track of fuel and all sorts of awfulness just to make your lives harder. But let's just say you got half a tank of gas.
Well, we have enough fuel to get there and get to a refueling station. So we're not going to break the bank on this one as long as we come back with something to show for it.
Right. And as I said, a science ship, I mean, you guys are in a freighter. This is a university-owned science ship. This is a significantly nicer ship than what you have.
And I guess, are we equipped to like tow that back, or am I going to have to like type in an autopilot program into the that ship's computer?
You have the ability to do whatever.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not sure. I'll think about it, but your ship might even be big enough to just load it up. Who knows? Like a space freighter feels huge to me. It doesn't feel like the Millennium Falcon.
Do we have any details on? Were there any comms sent out from this ship?
Negative, none. It went in. It was supposed to report back. It never did. It didn't even report back that they had arrived, which would be standard for such an expensive piece of hardware with a backing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. This is good. I feel good about this.
All right,
Tolls
you guys
just kind of scowls. Keeps eating his food.
is protein mix.
Yeah.
All right. Well, are you guys gonna jump into hypersleep and spin up the drive?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Yeah, makes sense.
All right. So everything goes as normal. You guys jump in and spin up the drive. Let me look up a table really quick.
Oh, Jesus, there's a table.
Yeah, there's always a table.
Tables are scary.
Okay. All right. So hyperspace is always weird. You have weird dreams when you're in hyperspace. They don't make sense. Dreams don't always make sense anyway, but they border on the cosmic horrific sometimes. During this hyperspace trip, you dream that you're staring at yourself in a mirror, but the mirror is also staring at you. All of you have the same dream. The mirror is also staring at you, but you are that mirror that's staring at you, and you get confused and it hurts your head. And then there's an extremely loud, rough, it feels like the ship impacts something. Everyone wakes up and there's a red alarm. Your pods just automatically pop open.
Spit us out to deal with this. All right. So I guess I'm gonna stumble my way toward the bridge and take a look at the console, see what the hell is wrong.
You had a catastrophic hyperspace incident. You have dropped out of hyperspace early, but you are in the correct system.
All right.
That's all the information you have. Just staring at the screen. You gotta.
Yeah. So I guess I'm gonna run a diagnostic, see if anything's wrong, see if anything's broken. If anything needs to be repaired.
Something seems like it's wrong in whatever room the hyperdrive is in at the other side of the ship. And then also you are in orbit around this is also just basic information that the computer's spitting out. You're in orbit around a planet in the system. It has a moon, and your ship's picking up a lot of pings.
As soon as Flo says that we're in the system, Tolls is going to go start suiting up.
Okay, red alarms or the red alert's still going on.
All right. I'm gonna kill the alert. And I'm gonna Baldy, get your shit and let's get back to the hyperdrive. There might be something. There's something wrong.
All right, let's go take a look at it then.
All right. You head down. It's actually a bit of a trip to get down there, but you sort of floating through tunnels, pulling yourself along. You don't have an artificial gravity on this ship. It's too expensive. And you get there, hit the door, you hit the button. Even though he killed the red alarm, there's a lot of sirens and stuff going on in this room. And what is it? Archibald, you take one look at that thing, and it's fried.
Oh, Flo, I don't think we're gonna be fixing this much. It's we may have to get a new one.
I mean, bare minimum, you're going to need parts. You don't really know yet. But yeah, it's bad. It's like if you've ever really blown an engine on a car and you just know you're screwed. It's like that.
Oof.
the hyper engine block is correct.
Yes, that's exactly right. All the pistons are firing wrong, and it's shooting hyper juice everywhere. It's not good.
All right. Do we have like landing pods or anything to get down to a planet?
No,
No. Okay.
no shuttle. You have like spacesuits and stuff. Hopefully you guys bought that. If not, we'll figure something out. But
And we lost.
Vac suits are expensive.
We lost hyperspace, but do we have like impulse power?
yes, you have engines.
Okay, that's something. Well, I guess I'm gonna say, Baldy, take a look at this, figure out what we need to repair it. If this is a salvage job, we can always take what we need, hopefully from the Alexis.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, I'll start looking and seeing what we need to try and salvage or fix here if we can.
Okay. Why don't you just for fun, let's get a roll. Just give me a roll. What are you feeling? I don't remember your skills off the top of my head. But.
I mean, intellect probably. I have computer.
A skill if you have one.
I mean,
you said you have computers.
Yeah,
you run a diagnostic on the hyperdrive.
So now, like, I also have hacking. Would I just roll the computers or?
No, I think computers. I don't think hacking is appropriate, but I think computers is.
Okay, and so that would add to.
So is computers a +10?
Yeah.
And then you would probably use your intellect. That feels right to me.
Yeah. Okay.
And so you want to roll under that number.
That makes sense. All right. Thank you. No, I failed.
Okay. It's broken, 100%. You might have to replace the whole thing, which would be a pain. But I mean, there's a Teamster here. That's possible. You're not gonna. You get the fires and everything put out and everything.
Yeah.
It's off.
It's not gonna get any more broken.
Yeah, exactly. And that's really all you know. It's definitely broken. Maybe Flo can take a look at it. She's more of a mechanic type person.
Yeah. Let's see how that goes. I've got mechanical repair.
Okay.
Or heavy machinery.
Hey, you think this might help you? And I hand Flo a electronics toolkit, which gives a +10 to repair electronics.
Okay. It will help, but we're just diagnosing the problem right now.
Okay.
Just because you're not going to get to just fix it.
Yeah, well, I'm never going to use it, so I'm giving it to Flo.
All right, I'll take it off you. All right, let me see. I'm gonna get up.
Also, I'm going to wander to the bridge and try to figure out what these pings are all about.
Not a problem. While he's doing that, you wander up to the bridge, and you check out what the pings are. You don't need to do any kind of weird roll or anything. Around this ship, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of derelict ships.
Oh, great. Lots of salvage.
Let's stay positive. I'm trying to keep a sunny outlook aboard the Narcissus.
The Narcissus. Nothing gets the crew of the Narcissus down.
We're great. What could possibly go wrong?
Actually, upon seeing that, I'm remembering how to run games. Upon seeing that, could you make me just a fear test? Actually, I don't even do that. Just take 1 stress.
Okay, so I decrease my sanity by 1? How does that work?
No.
I decrease my stress by 1.
Yes. Which should bring you to a 3, I think.
Oh, I increase it. Okay.
Yes.
So what happens if stress increases?
As stress increases, it builds, and then I might eventually have you make a test, and you'll make it against that number. And if you fail that test, then you make a panic test, and when that happens, we'll get to that.
Okay.
which
Yeah, I think
I'd be
it's
surprised.
is it 1d10 or 2d10 that you roll? You have to roll above it, and then you're fine.
Yes, what it is. You roll 2d10 against that number. If you roll above it, you lose a stress. If you fail it, if you match it or fail it, you have to make a panic roll, which I believe is 2d10 plus that number, and then there will be an effect.
Yeah, there's a panic table, so you might like run away screaming or any of the usual things.
Yeah.
So then, what are the saves for, like for fear and sanity?
Saves are for the. I'll tell you to make a save. A save is not lifting a door is not a save. That's a strength check. But resisting being pushed would be a save.
Okay.
So saves are sort of like involuntary reactions. That's your sanity, your fear.
Body and armor.
Yes, body, which is going to be your combat armor save. No, armor is your combat armor save, and body is like resisting poison or something like that.
Okay, cool.
All right. So, Mike, I missed that. I missed that test by 4 points, and I'm so angry.
It's broken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably going to just have to replace the whole damn thing.
The fucking thing's shot.
I'm on comms. I'm saying, well, there's going to be plenty of options for us to find parts.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of salvage out here. I'd see on scanners hundreds, no, more like thousands of ships around here.
That's not a good thing.
Yeah, everybody other than Steve, go ahead and add a stress.
All right. So,
So maybe we get you two suited up and
yeah, I
start
guess
these ships.
the first thing we should do is see if we can find the Alexis. That's what we came here for anyway.
Mm-hmm.
We can always go looting later if we make it that far. Again, let's stay positive, everybody.
All right, can I sort out any ping from the Alexis?
Yeah, I mean, most of the, your ship does things. It can scan around and stuff, and you find the Alexis pretty quick. It's not even very far. It looks like it was traveling away from the planet at the time that it's there. The lights are on.
All right, I'm
It's not. The engines are off. Yeah, it's sort of pointed away from the planet. The engines are off. It's drifting, but it is powered. You can sense that from your distance, anyway.
I will go that way with the ship.
Yeah, the ship computer plots a course. You fly over towards it. Let's just say you pass by some other derelicts that aren't powered. And when if you scan them, which I assume you do, there's no life signs. As you approach the Alexis, like I said, the lights are on, and it's floating there.
Are there any life signs?
You scan the ship. There are no life signs. And then while you are scanning the ship, the lights start going crazy on it, and it has a massive power spike. And then it settles back down, the power turns off, and then it all boots back up.
Their ship, the Alexis does.
The Alexis does.
Okay. Well, it said that they had some androids aboard, so maybe we should try hailing them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe they're.
I pressed the button.
Yeah, there's no response.
I put the shield on my standard battle distress down, and boot up my oxygen tanks.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you just for simplicity's sake, we can say that you can slide. Oh, actually, you guys scanned it. Let me give you guys something because I'm such a nice guy. In the RPG channel, I am going to post the results of your scan.
All right.
If it will load. Is Discord down? Here, let me put it in the other thing.
I got it
Yeah,
up.
it's just cycling. I
Yeah.
don't
I put it in the Google Doc.
goddamn budget scanners.
Yeah, all right. Yeah. So there is the Alexis.
All right, got it.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm looking at it right, yeah, you have a couple of options. You can pull the ship along to it and extend sort of like an umbilical to the entrance down there. Your umbilical boarding thing will not work on the cargo hold doors. They're too big. Or you could try to cut your way in through some other way if you prefer. But this ship is yours to do with what you like.
All right. Well, if there is some kind of an airlock that we can get an umbilical across to, let's go with that, because I don't feel like
Yeah.
space jumping to this thing.
Yeah.
Can
We've got an entrance on the lowest deck.
Guys, there's something weird going on here. Can I military training make a roll to try to determine an optimal breaching point?
An optimal breaching point. I don't know what that would be. What do you think that would be?
I don't know. Maybe. So where's the command center?
Upper deck, all the way to the top left.
So maybe that hallway running into the upper deck, is that accessible?
Next to the elevator there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's 100% accessible. You would risk breaching the hull, depending on how you did it.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, we've all got vac suits, right? So we're all okay operating in vacuum, or
No, I do not
Baldwin
have a
doesn't.
vac suit.
Gotcha.
I have a hazard suit.
Yeah. What are the rules on hazard suits? Does it specifically say they don't work there?
They're not designed to work in a vacuum.
It does say that.
How it says it, yeah.
Okay, well that's that.
Yeah. So if you pressurize it in vacuum, it would probably explode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more for atmospheric areas, I can see.
Yeah.
All right, then I guess we gotta go through the door. No choice. Let's do this.
All right. So yeah, we'll plot that into the computer that it's going to initiate a docking procedure, and I'll put that airlock. Where's the airlock? On the
Lower deck.
lower
entrance.
deck. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so yeah, well, I'll ping that in the computer so that it attaches us there.
All right. Yeah, the ship drifts down, and an umbilical comes across, connects, pressurizes, and you get a green light from their side, just automatically. Let me see here. It's fully pressurized. I'm just going to say, I'm going to retcon and say that your scans did show that there was an atmosphere on board.
Okay.
Okay.
And I think you are good to move forward if you feel so inclined.
All right,
Yeah.
I'll go first, sweeping the hallways, whatnot.
Okay.
Check
Well,
each
you're going through the front door then?
Yep.
Okay, you guys go through the airlock, and you find yourself in the Alexis. The inside of the Alexis is the complete opposite of your ship. It looks as if Apple designed this ship. There's a lot of clean, smooth edges. The inside of it is mostly white, and anything in it that is white just sort of glows softly, and then it's got silver embellishments. When you step into the hallway, you can see sort of what you would see. You look left, you look right, you're in a hallway. There is an elevator directly in front of you. And you don't hear anything. That the air has a sort of an odd smell about it, sort of an acidic smell, but maybe they just cleaned. I don't know.
All right.
So I look over at Flo, and I say, "Hey, Black Pants, hold the airlock while I sweep this corridor."
Flo nods and leans back against the bulkhead.
All right, so I begin sweeping that corridor that leads from the entrance.
All right, it's clean.
All right, are there any? Do the doors appear to be locked or?
The doors are closed. Spaceship doors kind of closed because that airlock type stuff.
Yeah, but are they easily opened or are they all like locked down?
No, they don't appear to be locked down. They all have like a green light on them.
All right, I come back to the airlock and I say, "Corridor's clean. Which way do you want to go? Towards the engines or towards the crew quarters?"
We should probably go to the command center. See if we can figure out what happened here. Archie, if we run across Baldy, if we run across a computer terminal, you should see if you can get us access so we can, look at Chip's records and stuff.
Let's try and figure out what happened. Yeah, I like that idea.
All right, so I guess knowing what I know about this this ship, is it like a standard model? Is there any way we can gain access to the upper decks without using the elevator? Because I feel like that would be an extraordinarily bad idea in a crisis situation like this.
I mean, the ship is only, what is it, like 2 decks?
Yeah.
3 decks. It's not necessarily dangerous. Let's just say that you could theoretically shut off the elevators, turn off the gravity, and let's say we're going to say there's gravity on this ship because it's a nicer ship. But
I just meant that like it's not going to do any of us any good if we get trapped in the elevator because the ship loses power like it did a few minutes ago.
You could probably set the elevator to store and just use it as sort of like a tunnel that you could jump up and down in, if that makes sense. Like there's probably no gravity like in the elevator shaft.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah. You could do that mechanically or with computers. And you could probably aid each other in some way if you wanted to.
All right. So I guess let's see if we can do that. I think Archie has the best. Baldy has the best shot of getting that accomplished if I help him.
Okay. So I'll let you do that with advantage if he helps you.
Yeah. So I guess we'll take a look at the terminal and try and just get it to be an open tube for us then.
Yeah, this is a spaceship, so it's kind of built with that in mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I guess
that would be
computers or.
Yeah, that would be your computers with your intellect. And then, so that's going to be whatever your intellect is plus 10, and then you're rolling on advantage. So roll twice and pick the lower number.
Okay. 46 passes.
Okay. You want to roll and see if you get I don't know what I would even give you for a critical.
I roll both.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. You pass. The elevator compartment, or whatever you call that, I'm sure James could let us know. It slides off, and gravity turns off in that specific area, and you can do your thing.
All right. Does it open the other doors up as well, or just these ones?
Yeah, it's almost like an emergency feature. It's just sort of like a local emergency feature that you can.
All right.
All right, and you guys are going up to the top floor?
I believe we're headed toward the command center. So I'll gesture toward the open elevator shaft for Tellus to go through.
Okay. All right, you guys go all the way past the habitation deck, and as you drift by the open door in the habitation deck, you don't see anything suspicious. You land up on the upper deck, and you head towards the habitation zone. Or not the habitation zone, I'm sorry, the bridge. Give me 2 seconds.
Sure.
Okay. All right, you guys are standing outside the door of the bridge. Just let me know when you want to pop that door.
I have a quick question. So I have a cybernetic diagnostic scanner that says it can be used as a locating device for synthetic organisms. Would I be able to use that to check if there's androids behind the door?
Yes, I'll even let you. I'll give you an automatic success on that. Sounds pretty standard to me. You scan it, and you definitely detect one android, for sure.
Okay.
And you detect 2 halves of an android.
Okay. Yeah. So we probably have one living thing behind the door and one split in half. So I think Platoon Daddy takes lead on this one.
All right. I tell them to get back against the far side of the corridor, and I will pop the door.
All right, you do it.
I get my crowbar ready just in case.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. You hit the button. Door slides open. As you peek your head in really quick and take an assessment of the situation, there are 2 androids in the room. One of them is furiously typing away at a console, and the other one is cut in half and sort of like laying on the ground. And he's talking to the other android, but they're talking in android. It's just a bunch of like clicks and binary crap, so that they can communicate quickly. There are also 2 human corpses in the room, and that is your immediate impression of the room.
All right. Can I military training? Can I tell how the humans were killed?
I'll tell you without a skill roll what you can tell. They appear to have suffered. They look chewed up like hamburger.
God.
In fact, with that being said, please take a D6 stress.
1d6. 2.
Okay, perfect.
5 stress. All right, I will step into the corridor and I'll say, remain where you are. Let me see your hands. To both of them, to the androids.
Yeah. They comply. In fact, the one on the keyboard is like, thank goodness you've arrived.
Explain what's going on here. What happened to these people?
I do not know. I've only just woken up 7 minutes ago, and I'm trying to access my memory circuits, but they appear to have been erased.
What happened to you? I say to the one that was cut in half.
He says, I do not know. I have just woken up 7 minutes ago, and I am currently searching my memory cores, but they appear to have been erased.
7 minutes ago, was that when I scanned the ship?
It is.
And it rebooted? All right.
Yes.
Fuck.
Oh, good. Is there like a black box that comes standard on these things?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, this guy's basically typing away at a console that does that sort of thing.
Trying to get access to that. All right.
Yeah.
So I walk in. I look at him. Well, by all means, continue. See what you can find out.
Well, as soon as you walk in, you see hamburger people, and you take. You said it was 2 stress.
I took 2. Yeah.
Yeah, you take 2 stress.
Okay. Great.
You saw something like this once on like a mining thing, so it's rough. You don't like to, it's like when you drive by a dead guy on the highway, like you feel bad, but what are you gonna do?
Before the scientist steps in, I'm going to say, Baldy, why don't you guard the corridor out there? Make sure nothing comes through.
Okay. Yeah. I guess. I'll take out my stun baton and
Cool.
stand at the other end of the corridor.
Okay, you're in the corridor. You're standing there. It's so far it's actually kind of nice. It's a nice corridor.
I wish we had corridors this nice on our ship.
For sure. This is well lit. There's no water leaking anywhere. Like it's really quite nice.
At the very end of the corridor, directly through the door, that thing that looks like a backwards C. What is that?
That if we're looking at the same thing, that is the navigation computer.
Okay. No, I'm talking about like opposite of the bridge. I think that's the bridge at least.
Yeah, that's the navigation computer.
Okay.
Is this door open?
Yeah, you can open that door if you like.
I'd like to do the Android scan first and.
Let me check on that for you, but I think it's pretty empty. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, there's nothing in there.
I'll sweep the rooms before I let the scientists go in.
Okay. Yeah. You go into that main room and you see the navigation computer. Off to both. If this is anything like any normal ship, off to both sides through those doors should be life support. And more or less, the room looks perfectly normal. Nothing out of place. No corpses or anything.
Okay.
Baldy, why don't you see if you can figure out where they've been since they've been in system? If they've moved or this is where they ended up.
Yeah. So that sounds like a good idea. I'll take a look at the navigation computer.
Okay.
See if where they were before this, and like what they were doing in system.
Okay. You do that. It's standard. You don't need to make a check. It's not passworded. Okay. And it appears that the navigation computer was erased 9 minutes ago.
Huh. 9 minutes.
While Baldy's doing that, I'm going to go back to the bridge where the androids are, just to keep an eye on them while the
androids are being androids. They are doing their best to be super helpful, which is kind of annoying because one of them is cut in half, and he's not very helpful. But he's, is there anything I could assist you with? That sort of thing.
Well, I'll go ahead, Steve. Go ahead.
Can you be put back together or anything?
I'm positive with a proper facility, I could easily be repaired.
I'll take a look at him. Is there anything I can do to patch him back together, or do I need like?
Nah, you just. I mean, androids require. It's not something you're just gonna do.
Right.
So, did your memory wipe include all your knowledge of this ship? I assume.
Yes, we have only just been activated. It has been 9 minutes now.
How long ago did we scan this ship?
9 minutes.
Yeah, so obviously whatever the scan did, it caused a full system reboot and everything reset. All right. So I guess let's assume that all of the computers and digital information on the system is gone. I guess we should see if we didn't get any life signs. We should see if there's anything hostile on board. Maybe see if we can try to figure out what happened to these people. I have like I'm not a doctor, but I have basic first aid knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Can I look at the human corpse and see if I can figure out, like, you said it's like hamburger, but
there's bones still in there. The bones are intact.
Ugh. So it's just someone like completely torn apart. I have can I tell by what?
Is it like bludgeoning damage, or is it like abrasions?
It's
like were they beat?
They were sliced up with like a million tiny cuts.
Okay.
God.
Military training. Have I ever seen wounds like that?
If you were to leave somebody, like you've seen some hard campaigns back in the day before you went independent, and you know how sometimes you might find a body left out in the woods or something, and some alien animals got to it for a few days. It's kind of like that. It's a lot like that.
Okay.
Seen a body pulled out of a mining excavator look something like this.
All right, guys, you've got a little sandbox to play in, so
Yeah. I guess let's sweep the rest of the ship, see what we can figure out, see if there's any other evidence of what went on here, since we're obviously not getting anything from the computers.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. I'll tell the androids, keep working on the black box, but I'm not sure you're going to find anything.
It's the strangest thing. It appears to have been deleted 9 minutes ago.
Weird.
According to your crew complement, you had a third android aboard. Where would that unit be?
We did. We should find him.
According to what I've heard,
who else was on our crew complement?
they don't know. Well, shit.
I say, and when I called you Black Pants earlier, that was a mistake. I misread the definition. That's for people below Chief Petty Officer. So I'll call you Chief. I say, Chief, why don't you and Baldy stick up here for a bit. I'm going to clear the bottom section.
All right.
You guys don't have to do what he suggests. Also, you can all split up. You can. I wouldn't necessarily recommend anyone just sit around and do nothing.
No, yeah. Well, I'll say as I clear rooms, I'll let you know that they're cleared, and you can come down to them. So I'm going to start with the next level down.
Okay.
All right. So we'll stick in the elevator shaft.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I like all that. Let me go to the restroom really quick, guys. I'll be right back.
Sure. So we are all going to die.
Yeah, if you see my notes, I've got 30 minutes before I probably have to leave, so I'm gonna basically split off and do my own thing and die quickly.
I said to Mike earlier, we're gonna get to the point where the horrible space bugs are gonna start to eat all of us, and then Steve's doorbell's gonna ring. And then my 1 in 5 chance of hitting anything with the hull piercing ray is going to be our only hope.
I'm playing this as your guys' canary, so you can watch me die and then know how to deal with it from there. Hopefully.
Well, thanks. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
We'll see if we can scrounge Baldy a vac suit.
Well, you can take mine once I'm dead.
You just have to die in a way that doesn't puncture your vac suit.
Yeah, I mean...
All right, I'm sorry about that. So you go down to the habitation, or the habitat deck.
Oh, well, what do you guys... I'm going to defer to the science people, which deck they want to search first to get through first.
I mean, we might as well be methodical about it and just go deck by deck.
Well, you still haven't even completed the top deck, technically. You do have the life
support. We haven't gone into the life support area. So yeah, let's check everything on this deck first, and then we'll go down.
Okay.
All right, I'll sweep life support.
All right. When you do sweep life support, it's it's not too crazy. I just wanted you guys to be thorough.
Yeah.
One life support room is the top life support room actually is running normally, and something is wrong with the bottom one.
Oh.
But I mean, a ship can run on a life support. It's okay.
Yeah. Can we tell what happened to the bottom one?
No, not right now. But life support runs like through the floors, so maybe on a different floor you might be able to see it.
Yeah.
All right. So you said you were going to go down to, I believe, habitation?
Yeah. The second deck.
Okay.
as we're moving, I'm gonna say, this suit's mighty hot. Baldy, why don't we trade?
Sure.
I'm gonna give him my combat suit because I've taken a real liking to Baldy, and I'm worried that things are gonna go bad. I don't want him to get killed right off the bat.
And you'll get my hazard suit.
Nah, I'm just gonna go through in my scrubs
And your skivvies.
or whatever.
Cool. We're gonna Brock Sampson this.
Yeah. I don't like to be tied down. I don't like to be tied down by these kind of suits. So I'm gonna start.
Does that mean your armor is 0 now?
No, my armor would be 40 now.
Because
the battle suit will increase your armor by 10. Just so you know.
Okay. I think you would. I think it's safe to say that you have whatever clothes are.
Yeah.
Which I think might have a little bit of an armor value if I can find.
No, I think they add 0.
Oh, do they? Okay.
Yeah, the vac suit adds 7%. I think
there's 4 items of clothing, and one of them is just clothes.
Well, I think there's 5 because advanced battle dress is different from standard battle dress.
Okay.
And I think that's what Platoon Daddy has is standard, right?
Standard, correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Back suit, hazard suit, standard crew 0%. You're correct.
All right, let's do this. Let's sweep the habitat deck.
All right, you're down there. Could you direct me a little bit which way you're going, that sort of thing?
So where's the elevator? Is it that little up-down symbol? Okay. All right.
Exactly correct.
So I think I'll go towards the back of the ship first.
Okay. And you're just going to hit that door all the way in the back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I'll clear this whole corridor first, and then once the corridor is clear, I'll return to the back of the ship.
Okay. The corridor is mostly clear. You find some just sort of odd stuff on the ground. Like somebody dropped a wallet. You see a shoe, which is kind of weird for a professional vessel to just have a shoe in the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, nothing strange. No
red mist floating around, or
no. I'm just gonna say you guys have gravity except for the elevator shaft.
Okay.
So I don't want you guys making a bunch of 0G checks. I don't think you can handle that.
Yeah. All right, so I'll head to that back door and open it up.
All right. Yeah. You pop the back door, and no, it's man, you found like the one room that doesn't have a description. It's amazing. It's just it's literally the janitor's closet.
Okay.
You pop in, you look around. There's some mops and stuff like that. You do hear some banging inside the vents.
In the vents.
Mm-hmm. Every room has vents. Vents are everywhere.
Is there an access to the vent here?
Yeah, there's a vent. You can't get into it or anything.
Oh, I can't pop it open or anything?
I'm willing to say that you can get that thing off with a little bit of a struggle. It'll take time.
Right,
but it's not the kind of thing you couldn't even stick your whole head into it. You know what I mean?
Okay, never mind. Then I'm gonna go out and clear the room above it. That looks like a sleeping quarters.
Okay. All right, you pop that room and sorry, I'm just reading what's in there. I mean, the first thing that you notice is there is a body there. His body is decomposed. He's all right. Anyway, the stench of decay overwhelms you when you walk into the room. The walls are covered with photographs and drawings of some sort of artifact, along with notes about them. There's a body hunched over a desk on top of a pile of moist paper because he's kind of like decaying into it.
Yeah.
And that's what you see so far.
All right. I will walk out of that room and clear the room to the below it. On the bottom side of the corridor.
A little bit to the left.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. There is a body in there. He looks sort of chewed up like hamburger.
But nothing else. I noticed.
I mean, there's stuff. It's a quarters. I'm sorry. It is
Yeah,
someone's.
but there's nothing moving, no movement, anything like that.
No, I'll tell you if an alien gets you. I'll tell you.
All right, then I'll move to the room directly above, and I'll tell the other two that they can start going through the rooms that I've been through.
All right. So yeah, I'll go to the quarters on the, I guess the north end of the corridor there, and the room with the drawings of the artifact and stuff.
Yes.
Can I examine the body?
Yes.
You said it's long decomposed.
Not long decomposed, but it is decomposing.
Okay. Can I tell? Can I use my first aid skill, I guess, to give an estimate of when this person died?
You could definitely give me some sort of medical check on this guy, for sure.
Okay. So that would be at 39. Let's see.
So while he's doing this, I'm just going to be clearing rooms, looking for signs of fights or looking for movement. So if I don't see any of that, you don't really have to describe the room to me or anything.
Well, I mean, it's part of the reason you guys need to stick it together a little bit out of game, just because every room does have something in it, literally, except for the janitor's closet that I just had to make up. This is a pre-gen, so I've got, stuff.
There's plenty of goodness to find.
Right. You rolled an 11?
Yep, that's a crit, right?
That is a critical success.
Because my total skill for that would be 39. So yes.
Okay. While looking over him, you can see that his head was bashed in from repeated slamming against a solid surface, and that he died a week and a half ago. Like, you have no doubt of that. And while you're searching his body and stuff like that, in his pocket, you find a smudged drawing of the best way you could describe it is a nightmare.
Oh, good.
Also, I need you to take 2 stress.
Yeah, that's I'll do that. So is there sign of a struggle here, or was this like self-inflicted, like he bashed his own head against the wall until he died?
There is other than his desk, there's not really a sign of a struggle. Somebody could have just bashed him against the desk, or he could have done it himself. You don't know.
All right. Well, I'll show the drawing to Baldy. Baldy, what do you make of this thing?
Looks kind of like a nightmare.
Yeah, it does. It's a picture of teeth biting through teeth.
Guy who drew this is probably a little bit wrong in the head.
While you're looking around, you see evidence as to who this person was. Out of a name generator. His name is Tony Walbeck, and he was the ship's archaeologist.
Based on the mission's parameters and travel time and stuff, how long ago did this mission set off from its point of origin, and how does that compare to? So the body's been here about a week and a half.
These people were up to something for around a month.
Okay.
And keep in mind, you are in orbit of a planet. This isn't like deep space or anything like that.
Yeah. Well, whatever they found here must have been pretty spicy.
All right, Steve, you were going into the next one north, the next door north of you. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, you pop that door. It's a large room. In fact, you without even really knowing, you automatically know that it's the captain's quarters. It's fairly sparse. It's got a small bunk for an alcove. Her possessions, she's got some exercise equipment, computer terminal, wall comm, some books, a journal, and that's what you can see right off the top of your head.
I'll grab the journal and flip to the last page.
Okay. The final entry it's dated from 2 weeks ago. It speaks of an artifact unearthed on the moon and experiencing terrible nightmares. And the nightmare that she describes is... I could have sworn I had that. I'm going to have to roll it. Hold on one second. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just not seeing my nightmare table. There we go. B100, 23. And she talks about having a nightmare about how she could smell rot in her bones, and she struggled to dig them out of her body. Go ahead and take 2 sanity on that one.
2 stress?
Stress, yes. Thank you.
Okay. All right, I will walk out and throw the journal to Flo.
All right.
I'll say, Captain's journal. There's an artifact causing all this shit, as usual.
When are people going to learn to stop digging up these friggin' deep space alien artifacts?
I mean, you wouldn't have a hyperdrive without deep space alien artifacts.
Well, I guess it's a toss-up then. Sometimes you get hyperspace technology, and sometimes you get nightmares about pulling your own bones out. I guess for some people it's worth the risk. Either you got anything on xenoarchaeology or?
No. I
know how to make an improvised explosive.
It's practically the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So I don't know about you two, but I think we're firmly in the case B of space artifacts we don't want to mess around with. So my suggestion as captain is that we continue to sweep the ship, tether it to us, see if we can get that hyperdrive back online, and boost ourselves out of this system and back to civilization. And let the academics figure this out.
That sounds like a good idea.
Let's stick to what's in our wheelhouse. That's what we do on board the Narcissus.
Where are you guys having this conversation?
In the corridor?
Yeah, I think in the corridor.
Yeah.
All right. You hear a loud thumps in the ceiling, and then they start growing fainter.
Are the vents exposed in this area or
in the hallway? I mean, there are, I don't know, space vents. Yeah.
All right.
My SMG immediately goes up towards the ceiling.
Uh-huh.
All right, and I start walking down the corridor in the direction of where the thumps are going.
They sort of, I would describe it as skitter away.
In what direction?
West.
West. Okay, so I'm gonna go down the corridor.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Doesn't sound like they go either way from there.
No, they sort of vanish within the bowels of the ship because there's a lot of crap in between levels.
All right.
Whatever's in there, we can try to lure it out.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, do you guys want to check these other rooms out, or do you want to head to where the artifact's going to be?
I think we should go look at that artifact.
All right, let's take the elevator down to the lower level and go to the cargo hold.
Okay. Yeah.
Go right into it.
All right. You definitely go down the elevator shaft, which brings you to the lower deck. There's a door to the cargo hold right there. Give me a second. The cargo hold's a little involved. Let me read this.
All right.
All right. As soon as you pop the door, it appears to be a normal cargo hold. There are a couple of sort of walker suits that are designed for excavation. There's a truck. There's some equipment in here. But that's not what draws your attention. What draws your attention is it's not doing anything, but a strange biomechanical looking arc, which is facing you. The arc is standing in the middle of the bay, and it's 3 feet wide by 5 feet high. It's about 2 feet thick. Broken pieces of crates and stuff like that surround it, almost intentionally built in something like a horrible effigy. They're scattered outward as if they were blown away from the arch. And there are 6 dead crew members kneeling around the relic with their heads and foreheads touching it. Everybody is going to have to take 1d6 stress individually.
All right. Oh, good.
1. I've seen this shit.
3.
All right.
All right, there's clearly only one approach to this. I begin going around the cargo hold looking for things that might explode.
No, it's not really like that. The cargo hold is it's got useful equipment in it for sure. But no explosives.
No fuel, no anything that could be used as an improvised explosive?
Nah, it's the future. Everything's running on batteries.
I mean, my laser gun can cut through a ship's hull. If I pointed it at this thing, I'll probably end up vaporized, but...
You would actually be the one thing that probably wasn't vaporized. But you could try. There's also the door.
I was gonna say we could just get loaded up onto the truck and just jettison it out into space.
All right, but let's say this thing is the thing that's causing all of our hyperdrives to malfunction. If it's out in space, it's still going to do that, right? Oh wait, maybe one of these ships has guns. All right, let's do it.
Well, I would feel a lot better pointing my laser cannon at this thing if it were, floating maybe 500 or 600 meters away from the ship.
All right. All right, let's space it.
All right.
Yeah.
So how are you going to do that?
You said there's a truck. Are there? Is it like heavy equipment? Is it an excavator or?
Yeah, there's a truck. There's like walkers. You couldn't walk around the ship in them, but you could walk around in here and walk out with them and stuff like that.
All right. So I guess we're sending. Well, shit, we'd have to send Tulls out because he's not wearing a vac suit anymore.
Right. If you open that door, you'll definitely make a zero atmosphere environment in here.
Yeah, so I'll have to go out in the corridor and guard the corridor.
Mm-hmm.
Guard the hallway, Tulls. Baldy and I got this one. So yeah, I guess I'll can I operate the walker in my vac suit?
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So Baldy, let's prepare for vacuum. See if you can find the terminal and bleed the atmosphere, so that we don't have like explosive decompression here.
If you do that, the outer doors will be sealed, and your Marine will be away from you.
Yeah.
You want to trade suits again, Baldy, and go out and wait in the
that's
corridor for a
probably
little
a good idea.
We
I'll
could
stand
also-
guard out here.
We could also continue to check around, see if maybe we can salvage a vac suit, scavenge one.
You guys
Yeah,
really
are there
haven't
any
been
vac suits in
searching-
here?
Well, I mean, you guys haven't really been searching any rooms, FYI. But if you go through this room, I think it's fair to say that there is a vac suit in here, just a basic vac suit.
All right, so
Yeah.
I will
So
take back the combat armor, and I will give
Mm-hmm.
Baldy the vac suit.
Yep.
All right. All right. I need to be very specific. What do you do now?
All right. So I guess I'm gonna go to the walker. This seems like something that's in my wheelhouse.
Mhm.
We're gonna depressurize the cargo hold. Open the cargo bay doors.
Okay. You can do all that.
I show Baldy how to tether off.
You don't have to
wall.
do that. Like the room itself will depressurize. You don't get sucked out of the door.
Okay.
It's not.
Yeah, we're this is intentional. So we're gonna bleed off the atmosphere before we open.
I don't know. I
the
feel like explosive decompression could help in this situation.
I wouldn't want to be in there.
All right, so we'll depressurize the room, open the doors.
Okay.
And I'll just use the walker and gently pick the thing up and give it a good shove so that it floats out of the cargo bay.
Okay.
I am sweeping the room with my gun, standing in one position, kind of towards the middle of the room, but behind where the moving is going on, and sweeping the vents with my any like entrances from vents or anything like that with my gun.
Okay. All right. Just for fun, when you do decompress the room goes to 0G. First and foremost.
Okay.
Most of your stuff is magnetized, so you can stick where you need to or not. I'm going to need a heavy machinery roll to operate the walker.
Okay.
First and foremost.
Which stat does that move off of?
I don't know.
There's a heavy machinery.
The heavy. Yeah, but what feels right to you? Intellect, speed. What are you trying to do?
I would prefer speed.
Okay, you're trying to quickly do this.
Strength, maybe.
Either of those would work better than intellect.
They're not assigned to a specific stat. If you can justify it to me, we're good to go.
Yeah, I would say I'm trying to do this quickly, so
Okay.
let's go with that. You got to beat a 53, and I do not.
Okay. Not a problem. You load in just fine. click in, everything's good. Power up. You're sort of like Ripley, in the Aliens 2. You go lumbering over to that, and you go to grab it, and you sort of knock it in the side and sort of set it wobbling. As soon as you do that, it glows with a blinding light, and the ship and all the lights on it start flickering.
I fucked up, you guys. I fucked up.
It's too bright to look at, and when the brightness goes away, everything is complete dark, and then the power systems for the ship slowly start powering back on. And floating around the arch are a bunch of foot-long, let's say 3 foot-long, almost like krill-looking animals that are interacting with the air, or no air in this case, almost as if it was water. Sort of like bony worms with tentacles coming out of the front of them. You've never seen anything like that. This is an encounter with an unknown alien, so that's a D10 stress for everyone.
Okay.
First and foremost.
Oh, 4.
10. Great.
Oh,
That is great.
4.
Does it matter that I went above 20?
Sorry, you said D10 or D6?
I believe I said D10.
Okay, 1 D10. I gotta redo that. 7.
Okay. I don't think it does matter if you go over 20. I don't remember that anyway. You're fine.
All right.
So these worms are just sort of drifting about around the arch. They almost look as disoriented as you are.
I'd like to oh man, what can I do?
Here's an interesting thing. When you point your gun at one of them, or I assume you're doing something similar, they flicker. They're still there, but it's almost like for a second they're not. Almost like almost like you're watching a hologram zip in and out. Like the camera cut out.
All right. Can I use military training to operate one of these trucks and maybe just give this thing a push towards the exit?
That will take time. Unfortunately, you're not going to be able to fit a truck in between the wall and the artifact to get it out.
Okay.
You might be able to do something with that. I don't know. You could kind of like smash around the whole place with a truck and see what happens.
Yeah. No.
I'm gonna use.
There's no dollies or anything, like huge dollies or anything like that.
What is it? Flo is basically in that. He's in a walker.
Oh, okay. All right. Is there any way to assist Flo, I guess?
No, but I'll say that one of the worms that's floating around immediately tilts its head towards Flo and starts swimming in his direction.
All right, I aim at that and fire.
All right, we're in combat. Let's figure that out, shall we?
Oh joy!
All right, I'm not going to have you check for surprise. So if you could, Steve, please give me a speed check.
Speed check. So I have to roll under my speed?
Yes.
Okay. Wait, why didn't that work?